After several weeks' break, Revolution Pro Wrestling returned this past weekend at Live in London 92. Dave Bradshaw here with the RevPro recap, and Gideon Gray. What a show it was.
Absolutely, and of course it is available to relive, rewatch, reimagine only on RevolutionProWrestlingOnDemand.com.
The night began with action from the Cruiserweight division as Robbie X took on the debuting Mr. Hype, Kuro, and in the end, Robbie X was just too much for Kuro.
Absolutely. Game showing from Mr. Hype himself, and you can watch it all on RevProOnDemand.com.
Immediately after that first contest, several of the RevPro roster made their intentions for the new year clear. David Francisco making his point just 1 week away from his shot at Michael Oku for the undisputed British Heavyweight Championship. Ricky Knight Jr. got involved. Amira came out on behalf of Michael Oku. And then JJ Gale as well. You do wonder, I think, as Gale said it was going to be his year in 2025, but has he kicked the hornet's nest somewhat by antagonizing Ricky Knight Jr.?
Listen, who cares about JJ Gale? Who cares about Ricky Knight Jr.? Don't tell him I said that. Who cares about, especially who cares about Amira? The only thing that matters is the centerpiece David Francisco made a surprise appearance. David Francisco merchandise available at shoprevpro.com.
With Mercedes Moné becoming the undisputed British Women's Champion in early January, there is everything to play for in the women's division. Kanji was coming off the biggest win of her career against Serena Deeb at Uprising. She faced 6 feet of fury in LA Taylor, but Kanji was more than up to the challenge.
And unlike Mercedes Moné, if you do want to see the superstars of British women's wrestling, you can watch them all at RevProOnDemand.com.
They're turning this into the banana splits! Banana splits gets it done!
It certainly turned heads when it was announced, and it more than lived up to the billing. Leon Cage, just days after his 18th birthday, in action against Leon Slater. These two went more than 25 minutes, and then Leon Slater ultimately with that Swanton 450 picking up the win.
Well, of course, and this one was always going to be feast or famine, as Mr. Dave Meltzer is wont to say of one of his favourites, Leon Slater. And of course, if you want to see anything from Leon Slater, you can see it all on RevProOnDemand.com.
Oh no, you're the future in Revolution Pro Wrestling. I am most certainly the now. Wrestler, maybe the now might wanna play.
There is all to play for in the Cruiserweight division as well. The current undisputed British Cruiserweight champion, Will Caven, was in the 229 on Sunday, but he lost to one of the men gunning for his title in a non-title match, America's Stephen Wolf, returning to Rev Pro.
Of course, and if you want to follow Stephen Wolf's journey here in the UK, the only place you can do so live is on RevProOnDemand.com.
Like a petulant child, Robbie X is. Smart work from Caven, getting his title and getting out of there.
Well, from Cruiserweight Action to a hard-hitting heavyweight showdown, the boss of the plains, one called Manders, returned to Revolution Pro Wrestling, and he took on the most famous man in Spain, Ike Navarro. It was Manders in the end with a massive lariat who came out on top.
It was classic America versus Spain. Does it get any more stereotypical than that matchup? However, you can watch the most famous man in Spain become the most famous man on RevProOnDemand.com.
RevPro, you got some gold. You got the British Heavyweight Championship gold. And the boss of the plains, the one called Manders, that ain't a challenge, it's a promise.
In a much anticipated tag team match, the Barcelona Blacklist returned to Revolution Pro Wrestling as well. They took on the Young Guns. It was a bad night to face Ethan Allen and Luke Jacobs, with Jacobs coming off that loss to Michael Oku at Uprising. And although it was a highly competitive match, a hugely entertaining tag team showdown, in the end, the Young Guns just too strong for their young Spanish opponents.
Of course, and Raymond Reddington's favourite team in the Barcelona Blacklist not able to pick up the win tonight, but you are able to pick up Barcelona Blacklist and Young Guns merchandise only on shoprevpro.com.
There's one belt I'm not adding this company, and that's the undisputed British Tag Team Championships.
And then, in an emotional main event, after a prolonged absence, former undisputed British Women's Champion Zoe Lucas made her return to Rev Pro, and in doing so was able to take out 1/5 of the Cutthroat Collective, Sapphire Reed.
And now I've done my job by advertising as much as Andy wants me to, I can feel free to say that it is wonderful to see Zoe Lucas back in a Revolution Pro Wrestling ring. But what is going to be the reprisal on her from the Cutthroat Collective? Only one place to find out. You already know it. I've said it enough. RevProOnDemand.com.
And that completes your RevPro recap from Live in London 92. Don't forget, this coming Sunday, we're in Southampton as David Francisco gets his shot at Michael Oku for the undisputed British Heavyweight Championship. For more information on that and all of our upcoming shows, the place to go is RevolutionProWrestling.com.